I hope you guys all love boy bands because that was pretty much the entirety of the Masked Singer last night. I was actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's do my low, my high, my acts of kindness. I would say my low is. I didn't really get that much sleep last night, so I might have to get myself some coffee. Unfortunately, I'm not going to have time to go to Starbucks. Dunkin' Donuts it is. If I have time, that is. I don't know what I'll do. My high is I actually got to go to, a bit of backstory. My primary care physician and my primary care physician's wife actually started a business in Corning 15 years ago. And last night they had a big party. Celebrate, free for anybody to go, and I went to pay my respects to the good doctor. So I guess you could say paying my respects was one of my acts of kindness. But there were some vendors that I saw who were there. Shout out to a store known as a board. They were there. It was just nice to see people again. It was a lot of fun. Got to see the good doctor, his wife. I actually met some of their kids too. Very nice family. And it was great. It was wonderful. I mean, the place. I actually never been inside this facility before. It's more like it's called Ageless Skin and Spa Bar, I think is what it's called. Basically, it's for skin and looking young and pretty and stuff like that. Which it did look. I mean, everything looked fancy schmancy. I mean, I'm a dude and therefore an idiot who doesn't know, jack squat about skincare. So, I mean, I did learn some stuff though. Like, I learned about lasers and how they can sort of zap the imperfections away. I also learned about Botox and how, how it is necessary for people to get Botox sometimes. There was mocktails, cocktails with alcohol from a hand and foot. There was food from the cellar, which I'm totally gonna add to the cutlet list at some point. I gotta get to that. So there was cupcakes and cookies by Laura Bell's Bakery, as well as cookies that you had to buy from Mud Pies. It was a very lovely evening. It really was. I had a lot of fun. And, I got to pay my respects to the good doctor, his wife, and his family. It was very nice. So that's one of my acts of kindness. But yesterday was also garbage day, so I also brought the garbage in for my folks. So it was a pretty eventful day. Speaking of events, I had no idea that 2300 degrees is happening again at the Corning Museum of Glass. I mean, I've been to the last two. I mean, I guess it's only fitting I keep, going to do it. And I do like going there, I do. I mean, it is nice going out, seeing a whole bunch of people, walking around. I mean, the Corning Museum of Glass is beautiful. I mean, if you ever go to Corning, New York at all, you should go, there's two places you go to for, culture. The Corning Museum of Glass and the Rockwell Museum of Modern Western Art. I think that's what it's called. It's the one that's over the bridge on the same street that the Corning Museum of Glass is on. So, yeah. Visit those places, for culture, and you see a lot of beautiful art. And in regards to, the Corning Museum of Glass, or CMOG, as some people call it, I mean, you get to see live glass shows, live glass show demonstrations. You get to see the 2300 degree oven. That's the name of the event. It's a very wonderful event. They always put on a decent show. Well, showing. There's not really much of a show rather than a showing. Well, I guess the high class show is a show. My point is, they always do a good job, and yeah, I'll probably go. I mean, I should go. Why not? It'll be fun. So, yeah. Let's talk about The Masked Singer. because, again, boy bands. Well, it was all boy bands, but the theme was Trolls Night because Trolls Band Together is coming out this weekend, which I never saw the first two Trolls movies. I hear they're pretty solid. I also hear that they're a lot better to watch if you're under some kind of influence. I'll say that much. But no, I mean, the episode started off with these life-size costumes of Poppy and Branch, the main characters from the Troll movies. Look, everyone knows who Poppy and Branch are, okay? I mean, seriously, the original Trolls movie is only 6 years, it's only like 7 years old. At this point, and all little kids love it, and I can see how some adults who would rather take a certain something before watching it would get a kick out of it as well. But, you know, it was Poppy and Branch, and they did performed a Better Place by NSYNC, which, if you remember when I talked about NSYNC when they were on Hot Ones, it was the first time that Better Place was the first NSYNC song to come out in over 20 years. Which, I don't know how they would, again, I know, I was always more of a Backstreet Boys kid rather than NSYNC. But there really was something to be said about just seeing all 5 members of NSYNC come back together for Hot Ones. Although, let's be honest, it's even better that they made a song together again. Better Place is a good song. I actually have that song on my iPod, I think, and it is a good song. It really is a good song. Although, speaking of Backstreet Boys, the Anteater did I Want It That Way, which is arguably the best Backstreet Boys song. Although, again, I was a Backstreet Boys kid. Obviously, I Want It That Way is a great song. As Long As You Love Me is a great song. I love, okay, if those of you don't know, I Want It That Way is on the Backstreet Boys album Millennium. And it's actually the second song on that track. The first song, Larger Than Life, is one of the greatest openings to a CD I've ever heard. I think, gosh, do I even have a favorite Backstreet Boys song? That's tough. I mean, yeah, Larger Than Life was a great opening, but I Want It That Way is just so iconic. I think that was the first, I say complicated song, basically a song that's not for little kids, that I actually learned. Then again, As Long As You Love Me, that was also I would say any Backstreet Boys fan is going to agree that As Long As You Love Me or I Want It That Way, between one of those two, you have the best Backstreet Boys song. While Larger Than Life would be somewhere in a close second or third. But that's just me. So the Anteater did I Want That Way by the Backstreet Boys. The Candelabra did All My Life by KCI and JoJo, which that was really good. The Donut did I Do, Cherish You by 98 Degrees. That's a band name I haven't heard in years. Oh yeah, 98 Degrees was a band, wasn't it? I'm not kidding. I remember 98 Degrees. The big three were Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, and 98 Degrees. And between all three, it looks like 98 Degrees fell off the face of the earth. Meanwhile, the Backstreet Boys were they broke up and then they got back together again. And they sort of this repeat, seriously, they were breaking up and coming back together more than a couple. And then you have NSYNC, which, I'm not gonna lie, I knew who Justin Timberlake was years after NSYNC broke up, and therefore before I knew any of the band members of NSYNC. That's how much of an uncultured loser I was back when I was a kid. Anyway, and now we gotta get to the wild card. which literally, if you've been seeing the trailers and the promotions for season 10 of The Masked Singer, then you know what I'm about to talk about, which is the legit biggest costume that The Masked Singer has ever had. Like, I think it's like a 10-foot, like, probably, like a 10-foot tall costume, roughly, something like that. It's huge. And it was, hands down, the most adorable thing I'd ever seen. To make things even better, it was called the Cuddle Monster. I'm like, Cuddle Monster. Oh, I love the fact, like, it's a gentle giant, it's like huge and soft and furry. Oh, Cuddle Monster. Seriously, you know what? It's a shame that the Cuddle Monster got eliminated. But man, I want there to be like a Cuddle Monster plushie. I really do. I want there to be a Cuddle Monster plushie. I would get one for me. I would get one for each of my nephews. I'd get one for a certain someone. I would totally get Cuddle Monster. Cuddle Monster is awesome. And Cuddle Monster did You Got It, The Right Stuff by New Kids on the Block, which, you know, I've heard of New Kids on the Block so many times, I can't think of a single song they've ever done. Again, uncultured loser. But, it was Cuddle Monster and Anteater for the finale, for the SmackDown. And, you know, I found it very fitting that considering it was Trolls Night, what better song to have for the SmackDown than the song it's almost the theme song of Trolls, which is Can't Stop the Feeling by Justin Timberlake. Again, never been sync. And here's the thing. It's not that both of them are bad, but if people are going to be clamoring for Anteater to win Group C, he's got a giant uphill battle ahead of him. Because Donut and Candelabra lights out. So Anteater wins, and so the Cuddle Monster sadly is unmasked, and it was Meta World Peace. Former NBA champion, Meta World Peace. Which, I heard the name Meta World Peace, I'm like, that can't be anyone's name. Because I actually heard of Meta World Peace before this episode. I forget where, though. But, yeah, I mean, Meta World Peace, he can sing, he brought the energy, and I'll tell you what, people normally say that whenever on the Masked Singer, they get unmasked, they usually say it's like hot underneath the mask. Meta World Peace wasn't exactly like, he didn't say it was hot in there, but you could tell he was really sweaty. Like, really sweaty. Like, he wasn't just glistening, he was outright shiny. Okay, that's how sweaty he looked. I'm not kidding. So yeah, it was a great episode of The Masked Singer. It was a lot of fun listening to boy band songs again. It was. But I'm more looking forward to the Group A finale because next week, it's going to be disco night. I'm so excited. Oh, dude, disco night. I wonder if I should... Okay. I don't know how or when, but if I pull this off, I have a great idea for what I could do next Wednesday when I talk about Disco Night and The Masked Singer. I really hope I do it. Okay. So a Jersey guy. I have an NFL pick to make. Okay, let's get this go quickly. Ooh, the Bengals and the Ravens. I mean, the Bengals really have come a long way in terms of the fact that they've gotten better. Considering that there's seriously like their season started off terrible, but now they're 5-4, which is great. But Lamar Jackson is playing at an MVP level. Actually, let me get this off my lap real fast. There we go. I mean, he is playing at an MVP level. I don't know if he'll get it. Kind of the thing, I don't know who's ahead in the race for MVP. I mean, Pat Mahomes is probably in the conversation. Jalen Hurts is probably in the conversation. I know at one point Christian McCaffrey was. I forget what happened with that. I mean, I'm sure either him or Brock Purdy were, but they weren't. But I think because they lost like it was 3 games in a row. Was it 3 games in a row? Or 4 games in a row? However, I'm just saying, that losing streak is karma for what you guys did to my Cowboys. I'm almost positive that's what happened. But, yeah. I'm picking the Baltimore Ravens over the Cincinnati Bengals. So, yeah, it was a great episode of The Masked Singer. Trolls Night, boy band music. Love that. Definitely my childhood growing up in the 90s. I'm picking the Baltimore Ravens over the Bengals. It should be a good day. And I'm going to check out 2300 Degrees too. I hope you all like this video. If you like it, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow on social media. As always, I'm very homely in this video. We have Hot Ones today too. I'm very homely in this video for all you guys watching Joe today. Hope we have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Thursday. I forgot to say Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday, everyone. And remember, if you guys want to talk to me, we're here to lend those back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.